Is AI a placebo? So that's a question that I want to know. Is it a placebo? You know, one of the first questions I asked, like some type of AI model, is, when I was asking it, I was kind of thinking of like the age of Aquarius in a sense of like that space where, I guess intelligence and bliss and, you know, growth is all kind of intertwined into, a structured organism of like eternity-ish type of vibes. So one of the first questions I asked like Chat GPT was, if one person wants to increase their capabilities and understanding and things like that, would they be able to utilize AI not to inject that type of knowledge or system into their body, but to be able to naturally get to a place of like eternal growth, and to where it's like you are able to kind of reach your divinity, but through, pursuit of like information or understanding or whatever. And I forgot what the answer truly was when back in the day, but it kind of was like set a framework on how one would use AI. Because it's like you're not going to just take the first thing you hear or see. You have to kind of frame it to where, you're getting useful information for the desire that you want. It's like a mirror. You're basically inputting some type of frequency of like, okay, what's the possibility of that, or how can this be looked at? And then it gives you that. And I would think once you kind of properly engage with it, then whatever it's giving you is kind of for your best benefit. It's not like it's like, unless you're like kind of like, because over time, yes, you have to upgrade your models. Over time, you have to input new constraints and things like that. But maybe let's say 5 years later, the models has got way better. 5 years later, you gotten way more, because there's a difference between AI and you're going into Idiocracy, and then AI and you're going into Enlightenment. So it's that different. So let's say 5 years later, you've been kind of going into Enlightenment. You've been doing your daily routine that maybe you and the AI collaborated to create some type of system. You've been kind of knocking out the small proof tasks that you've been having, and now it's like, okay, 5 years later, where are you at? Are you idiotic in terms of like, oh, AI just do my homework for me, or respond to these people and tell me the answer to this test? Or are you like, oh my goodness, like I've been struggling with this different understanding, and I don't know why the cycle's continuing, and then maybe if I could remove some of these blocks and kind of understand more about this and that I can kind of come and be understanding to myself, and then boom, breakthrough. So I'm just saying, is it a placebo or is it real? Because I would think, if depending on how you're using it, because obviously AI psychosis is possibly going to be a thing. It's already a thing. But obviously, if you are framing yourself, positioning yourself, and if, like, I would say this is the best way to use AI. I'm going to say it right now. The best way to use AI is to guide and prep it. So basically, let's say if you hear something about AI is creating idiocracy in people, then I would understand what that concept is, tell the AI, hey, this is a possible possibility. How can I structure myself to not be on that type of side of the AI type of alignment structure system, and be proactive? Boom. It's going to give you a list, and then don't forget to click deep research or think deep about it. It's going to give you a list of structured plans on how to not be idiotic, like, and then you apply that. You see, it's going to take that motivation for you to apply something like that. It's not like you just read it and you think you're not going to be idiotic. Like, so that's just a question. Is AI a placebo, or is this just like, the way how you use it, if you kind of understand? It's like back in the day, and this is my last comparison, and this is just something that's popping up in my head. So don't, if you're touchy or whatever, don't be too affected by it, because it's just about empowerment. But what if back in the day, like, they had books and they didn't let the black people read the books, right? But then there was some black people that was reading books. There's a difference between you not reading books and you reading books. Okay? So that same premise, there's a difference between not using AI and using AI. Not meaning that you are smart or dumb without using AI, but it's just the fact that if you are a black person or any person and you're capable of reading a book or understanding AI in that type of way, then you can be more sophisticated. Boom. But yes, if you're using it as a crutch for the American system and you're just like being a fucking, being you know, I don't know what the word I want to use, but I think I want to say slob about it. So being a slob and kind of just using AI in that type of way, then you're going to be cooked. But it could be a placebo, and it's like maybe they were cooked in general. But I just want to say that, like, subscribe, and question of the day in the comments: how do you guardrail yourself on not being dependent on AI? That's the question of the day. If you got this far, like, comment, subscribe, and more discussions about creative outputs.